Welcome back to Blast Guys Reviews. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at Valaverse Action Force exclusive Warpath Eclipse. This is a very attractive box that comes in. This box has a very nice Native American design. I actually love how it's done. Here is the packaging with Eclipse, and you can see most of the extra accessories, such as the additional head sculpts and the new versions of like the screaming heads, her weapon, and that very nice tribal blue and red down the sides. It's very, very nice. Here's the Action Force logo with the Eclipse. These are recommended for ages 14 and up, and the Valaverse logo. These are extremely nice. You can get these on valaverse.com for $31.99. Here's the back of the packaging. Love the artwork with in the back with the figure. Looks fantastic. And here's our file card. So I'll try to get you guys up close so you can pause and read that if you can. Try to hold that for a few seconds. We do have 2 action points. There's the social media and website information there if you want to visit their site. If you're new to it, but you're probably not if you're watching this video. I do like the artwork they've chosen to use for the file card picture. It looks very nice. I love the war paint on her face. I think it looks fantastic. So don't forget to clip and save your file card and your action points for future any kind of promotions they have. Here's the top of the box. There's the bottom of the box. Here's the side of the box. It's pretty cool. It's very, very nice artwork on this exclusive. And on this side, we have the artwork from the file card. It's very striking, nice presence on the packaging. I do think that's very, very cool and very nice. Don't forget when you're unboxing your figure, not to throw away your display stand because it is now taped to the back of the insert, so don't miss out on that. Just as a little tip. Okay, here's Warpath. This something to note. They have now strapping their figures in, I guess. You can see that they do have ties that you should just put them in without any kind of hindrance. And now this is kind of a pain. So we'll go ahead and try to get that out of there for you guys so we take a look at her. Okay, here she is outside the packaging. This is straight up unboxing. We're going to put these joints to the test only here on Blast Guys Reviews. We're not going to be kissing Valaverse's butt or anything like that. You're going to see what's coming right out of the packaging, and see if there's going to be any heating required or joint status and how stiffness the tolerances are. So here she is straight out of the packaging. I had to fix her feet a little bit to get her to stand up because they're pointing down. They seem to articulate okay. I'd recommend you pull them backwards and then forward, and then it should be okay to stand. We'll start with the top. The head sculpt looks pretty fantastic. She does have her traditional short hair from her very first V1 version of her. Here's a nice side profile of the figure. Very nice. I love the black war paint on the side of her face. It kind of gives it like she sprayed over her eyes and paint is kind of like running down the side of her cheek. Very, very nice. There's just some red on her nose there. Eyes are painted pretty good. I like that. So her hair comes down over her top of her forehead, just above her one eye. Her lips are painted decently. Nice head sculpt. Nice paint. Looks very good. Here's the side profile. Her hair is definitely sculpted very nice. You can see the strands of hair. Looks really good. Here's the back. What's interesting, you may see because it's very small. She has a small braid here on the side with the little blue clip in the back. That's very cool. That's very attention to detail. Stuff like that really makes figures pop and really makes them look a nice piece for your collection. She is sporting a scarf around her neck. It's a dark gray with a lighter phrase here on the bottom piece. Her jacket, her plate carrier or bulletproof vest, whatever you want to call it here, it's like a gray. It has like the straps are a different shaded gray. Black magazine holders too here on her stomach, and these are removable. You do get 2 of these on her person already. There is a bunch of accessories that's taped in the packaging, so I'm not sure if we get more. I haven't looked at it to start to figure out so we can get this review going. I'm loving the Native American tattoos. Try to get you some nice shots of these so you can see how nice the paint is done, or the application of these. I don't know if they use tampos or not, but that looks incredible. Very, very nice. And then she has these wraps, almost like a a ninja or would have around their hands, or especially a martial artist, or some kind of grappler. That's very, very cool. I love that. The sculpting, that looks very good. You can see the wraps around the wrist and the hands. Nice sculpting there. Over here, she just has like a plain arms, and she has those wraps on his hand too, which is fantastic. She has like a dark brown pants. She has these inner pads that are gray on the inside. We have no thigh pad on this side, but we have a thigh pad here with the black straps. I wish the buckles were painted, but different color just to make those pop a little bit. We have the gray pad and the gray pistol case, and we have some kind of very small magazines here, maybe for a pistol that's non-removable, just sculpted in. Her boots have these little plates on here. They're like a gray, but they have some silver detailing to it to give it like some wear. Like these are still, like they're like some kind of guards to her shins. So it's very nice for some wear, some aging or battle damage, whatever you want to call it. Boots look really good. On the bottom of her feet, she does have that really cool tread that's almost on all of the Valaverse figures, which is a very nice feature for R1's 12 scale action figures. On the back of the figure, she has this ribbed spinal cord design. I like that. I think that's really nice. Very cool. These two plates here. Then she has a nice sleeve here that goes on her belt. Very cool. Back of the figure. So we get some more angles. Then we have obviously the peg hole for the any attachments that she comes with. Like I said, I have to look and see because I just opened it up. And we're just doing this review as a straight up unboxing. Going into this as you guys are going into this. Very nice figure. I was very surprised. As I get some of the accessories out, I'll tell you about my experience that I had on Valaverse.com. So they announced, come on this time, this day, and I went there, and the site crashed. I kept getting this 502 error, and so I couldn't even get this figure in my cart, and it was kind of like irritating. So pretty much went through the whole day looking for this site to pop up, and then it kept coming up and freezing, and I get a little farther every time. And here it was like, I think it was like 9 o'clock or something in the morning. You had to go. I can't remember exactly what time it was, but then it was like after work. I came home, and then I was lucky. They said they were sold out, and I looked later, they had more in stock, and I was shocked. So I ended up getting one like that. So that was my experience getting her. So I don't know if they put more up or if they did, but I kind of feel very lucky to have this figure because I couldn't even get in to their website when they announced the release of the new figures with and also the exclusive. So I feel very blessed to have this figure. So I do appreciate if they did add more to the site, which has been really cool. So here is actually, we're looking at her alternate head sculpt. Now they have the new head packs coming with different various characters, and this is Warpath Eclipse that comes with her. So it kind of gives you a early look at what we're going to expect to see in the other versions of this opening Screaming Mouth. I am not a big fan, to be honest with you, of the Screaming Mouth. I mean, that's just a very dramatic pose, which requires a specific kind of display. And I'm not really much into open mouths, but that's just the way it is. But you can see that the heads are pretty much identical on the paint and with the red and the black, just a different mouth positioning. Very cool. So while we're at it, let's see if I can, without knocking the camera over, so we can, oh, it comes right off beautifully. Good job so far. And let's see if these are same tolerance. And they are. Nice job. So that's how she looks right there. Very cool. I'm not a big fan of the head sculpt, but that's for me. That doesn't mean that It's not for you. This even has the a braid, so they really paid attention to detail. It wasn't like something they forgot. So very nicely done on that perspective. Put that aside for a second. We do have an alternate head, a wrapped head. This is very nice. We have the gray, and it has that trim that follows through. As you can see, like this is on her person already. And the attention to detail is incredible for this figure. That has the black. You can see her face because of her black paint on her face. A little bit of gray, light gray there. These wraps are done very nicely sculpted. This is another removable head. And let's see how well. I'm not sure if we have to remove the scarf. Maybe we should. Let's test it and see. Now, if you want that double layer of scarves, that's how that would look like that. That's really cool. This is a nice figure. Very nicely done. As you can see, here is the joint for the head. You can remove the scarf. Like so. If you don't like that, I want to take off the vest because she has like this green tank top on there underneath, but it's like, man, look how nice that's on there. I'm afraid to take that off. I'll never get it back on with a bunch of fight with heat and everything else because it's seated very well. So I'm going to pass on that, and I'll leave that for you guys to discover with your figure if that's something you so desire. But you can see that green tank underneath there, but that's pretty cool. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at her articulation. Okay, for the head, it's on the ball joint. She can look down pretty nicely. So the scarf's not in the way. The chin does go but just underneath the scarf. Very nice placement of that scarf. You can see that right there. Back, and not so much. The hair captures the scarf. Not too much side to side. Obviously you have the 360 if you really want to get psycho. It's pretty cool. Arms go around 360. The only thing I'm missing here, I wish they had, is I know a lot of people say they don't need them, but there's no butterfly joints, which is unfortunate on his female bodies. I feel a little stiff. Yeah, it's kind of like a different ratcheting position. It's not a ratchet because it's just too far of a distance between them. It's more of a just like one of those positioning figures. So you get the T-pose, 360 rotation. Doesn't seem like you have to worry too much about the tats rubbing off and the movement of the arm. I'd still be careful with that and the elbow. That could be an issue. So we'll be very careful here. Double jointed elbows. Amazing. I mean, our head's in the way. You can get a little bit better than that on the articulation for the elbows. So we'll make sure that we don't have any paint rubs. Nope, and that's still pretty good, best that I can tell. Hands go up and down on this one, 360 all the way around. That's a little stiff, may have to heat that. This hand we have the same maybe? Yep, we have the up and down on that hand. So it's the same for the hands. Obviously you have the chest articulation under the plate carrier, but I'm not really interested in taking that off. You can see how well that's on there. There's the seam right there, I'm betting. Very cool. Shows a 360 rotation at the waist, but very stiff. Drop down hips, legs keep wanting to pop down like that, and we can get a beautiful split. Perfect. You can see how far those drop down. It creates that really unsightly gappage there, but all you gotta do is push them back up, and then you can do this type of split if you like. Pretty nice. We have the 360 thigh cuts. Let's take a look at the knees. It's kind of, yeah, it's a little stiff. I'm a little hesitant because this being an exclusive, I don't think I'm going to be able to replace it if it gets broken. So very stiff at the knees. It looks like it wants to, but I'm putting a lot of stress on it, and I'm not feeling very comfortable at this point. I've done this a lot, so kind of like you can get a feel for stuff like that. But they are double jointed, and I don't want to break her it kind of stops right there. It looks like the bottom one wants to work, but the top one's pretty well in there, so I'll have to warm her up here later on when I decide to play with her. Boot cut 360, feet pivot down, feet pivot up, and you have the rocker, which is basically around the ankle rotation to give you that impression of a sideward rocker. Shoulders are pretty good, a little stiff, but no, I'm not scared of breaking her, except for the knees. So that's definitely worth keeping your eye out for the knee part, and obviously check all your joints, because if you have her, she's exclusive. She's probably sold out. I didn't look. I don't want to care, because then once you have your own copy, I'm not looking to see how many sold. That's on. I guess that's for the owner of the company. So let's continue looking at her accessories. We took a look at two of her clips. She does come with a lot of extra clips, which is surprisingly. So she has, if I can tell my power parts here, you get additional 4 more. So that's a total of 6 clips. I'm trying to get them all in my hand here while I'm talking. So that's what I'm doing behind the camera here, so you guys can see all of them at one time. So she has 2, and then these 4. Obviously, one needs to go into her assault rifle. So here's your 3. Speaking of the assault rifle, here it is. I love the gray on there. It gives it ownership to her. I love that touch. That's just something that really stands out for me, and it's definitely a selling point. So, and put that, and then be able to hold all your accessories. Now, obviously, she can't hold additional heads and hands. That's not what I mean. I mean like her weapons. I want her geared up, ready to rock and roll in a battle. And then, obviously, it helps keep them from getting lost. We do have drilled barrel for some blast effects. Very cool. Like the sculpting on the gun. This is solid. No warping here. Very nice. Good job. A little bit of silver there. And then we have the magazine, which we're going to insert, which is also gray. Not as snug as I expected, but no worries about falling out. And there it is. Looks very, very nice. I do like that weapon. Some of the sculpts that he has I'm not a fan of, but this is one of them I am a fan of, so I'm very excited to have this one as her weapon. I'd have been happy with this or the M4 for her. So her hand tolerances are very nice. As you can see that right in front of the camera. Right in. As soon as I got the position, the hands were made to fit like a glove, which is, that's what you want. So that's a great, great feature. And here's her assault rifle. Again, I won't get too crazy with posability. There's something I leave for you guys to discover. This is basically showing what you get, an overall appearance and aesthetics part of our video. Looks very cool. And of course, you've seen the range of motion. I just want to be very careful because I'm not sure we are with the paint rubs. That's one thing I want to be very careful because that's beautiful and I don't want that to be rubbed off or damaged. But it'll give you an idea of how cool she is holding her assault rifle. Which one we were moving at here in a second. We're going to take a look at some of her accessories. So there she is. She does come with a sidearm. It's a pistol. Very cool. I like the sculpt. I love the silver tip. That's very cool. I dipped it in some silver paint. That's cool. And before we take that out, it does see it fits perfectly in her case. And it is snug. And it's not going to fall out at all. It's really in there. So that's cool. Let's take away her assault rifle. Let's take out her sidearm and see how well the hands, this hand at least, wants to receive her sidearm. And I like this hand. This hand is definitely staying for me. I'm not a big guy. I don't need a bunch of hands. I got a business hand. I'm good to go. And that's a perfect business hand. There's no need for anything else. I mean, again, that's me. But that's my hand right there. It's doing exactly what it should do. And that's all I need. That's pretty cool. Obviously, if you're into figure photography, then you will definitely need extra hands for posability and dynamic poses, but for me, this is all I need. So for now. And she does come with extra hands, which we'll get to here shortly. She does come with a nice blade. Very nicely sculpted. Hope you can see that. I like how it has that different little cuts in the handle. With the black on the top, silver business end of this thing is curved. It's just quite small, so be very, very careful. I'm going to put this in the back first because I want to show off her with both of her bladed weapons. You can see that as a curved case, very snug, and fits beautifully right inside. I love it. So obviously we have, there may be, yeah, see this may be, well maybe not. My only issue with this hand, for my dominant hand for weapons, it looks pretty good. It flops around a little bit. It's not as tight as I would hope. Maybe I have to see what other hands she comes with if I have to go hand-to-hand combat. She comes with this comma. Very cool. It does match her other blade. And then again, that is something that I do look for in figures. And I think that's beautiful. That ownership right there. These tell me that these weapons, if I have a pile of weapons, these are Eclipses. Okay, let's try the other hand just for fun. This one's a little, it's not tight on the tolerance. It's just the hand's a little closer to the closed position than, yeah, see that's, that hand is kind of loose too. So we definitely have to look for alternate hands that have there's her with her bladed weapons. Again, it's not a dynamic pose, but you can at least see those without me holding them. That's the whole purpose here. Because you want to see what these things look like. You don't want to see my hands. And you probably don't want to see her hands. You just want to see how cool the sculpted weapons are. It comes with some hands. She comes with 2 open hands. Like so. I got them on around the side. I try to do the best I can. I grab them. But you have 2 cupped hands like this. It's just, everybody loves these. Except they're pretty cool. I mean, I'm not banging them, but it's just like, here we have some fisted hands. So she wants to throw down in her rage, her Warpath battle scenarios, fists. Or she can get some fist bumps. And I like how they follow suit. I like how the paint comes through the knuckles here. That's really cool. That's really cool. So this is the only alternative you have for bladed weapons. I'm not going to pop our hands out because we're just going to go ahead and see and test what we have. So we have that hand and this hand. These are definitely have a different tolerance than ones on her person. So this one is a little tighter, but it does still move. That would be this hand here. And then her other hand, which kind of you can see has that like a shape of the, I think, of the weapon. And this is more flexible. And it holds it, but they're not as secure that we probably would like. But these hands kind of hold them a little better, and I'm barely moving that. It's just hard to do with one finger. I put it up here. Barely touching it. Just tap it, it goes down. But yeah, these probably would be your knife hands. So speaking of it, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, the other thing I did notice, is kind of irritating me, is there's nowhere to put her additional clips, and there's nowhere to put her comma. So that's something that's definitely a negative for me. Beautiful figure though. I mean, I bought the figure, so nothing's perfect, but you can see how that kind of moves around on that hand. So we don't really, in my opinion, don't really have a perfect knife hand. Because these are the only other set that are open. They're fisted and we're... That one's a little better. It's still not tight though. I mean, you want it secured. You don't want it, to where you're rubbing paint off. But this are going to be about it for that, unfortunately. So for the stuff that matter, we have her sidearm and we have her knife. We have a place for. Obviously, we don't have any more space for those additional 3 clips. Well, I know we had an extra 4, but one goes into her assault rifle, which is here. So she can hold her assault rifle, obviously, like so. And this would be the only thing I really had to grab her about is I want to have a place for this. And I don't have a place except in her hand. So that's unfortunate. It has some space here. Would have been really cool, maybe like a small pad that I clipped in. Would have been really nice, or somewhere on her back she has space for something, but nothing there for her, unfortunately. So, but this is a very nice figure. Eclipse is probably the best, in my opinion, my favorite out of Action Force female characters over all the other ones. Then second, obviously, be the female Steel Brigade, which is very cool. The last accessory you're going to get is obviously the stand. I love the silver. I wish all my stands were silver or black. I'd take those two. The other colors are just not for me. I do like this diamond plated Action Force logo. 4 pegs. Obviously, once you get her feet standing, you don't really need to stand. I mean, I'm shaking my table here and she's not falling over. I mean, I'm not shaking very well, but it kind of moving a little bit. So she has a nice presence, but you can put the peg holes in her feet like this if you want to. And they are tolerance. I just push right in like that, no effort. So nice tolerance on the diameters of the feet pegs. So very cool. Okay, pros and cons. Pros is straight up awesome figure. Love the design, the aesthetics. Bunch of accessories. I think a well-rounded figure. Valaverse is known for all their extra hands, if that's your thing. Beautiful head sculpt. I love the design. Well, we'll leave that for a con, but I love the head sculpt. Love the alternate head with the wrap. It looks fantastic. Colors pop and nice. Gives me that Night Force feel, the G.I. Joe Night Force. If you're a crossover dude or dudette, you can definitely have her in your G.I. Joe Night Force and give some support with the new shooter coming out. So, Walmart exclusive G.I. Joe classified shooter. Cons is probably the most important thing. I have a couple. So, you probably expect that the knees are not really a con. It's just irritation that you have to take extra time for. But, I mean, it's becoming a common thing with figures anymore. My biggest one is the lack of space to put her gear, like her additional clips and her comma. So that's my biggest thing. Like I said, it's not a lot of bad. It's not really a lot of bad. It's just my personal preference. I don't like the extra head. I'm not a fan of this, but unfortunately, if I ever want any of those gear packs that are coming with these, to get some of the other accessories, you can get stuck with the extra heads. Probably will never use them, but they go with the figure. So, I mean, that's about it. I mean, she's beautiful figure. Highly recommend if you can get her. I got her on Valaverse.com. Like I said, $31.99. They do charge $8 to ship. So if you're gonna buy. If you have a couple things in mind, try to get them all one time so you have one shipping price. That's probably my best advice for that. Hope you guys like this in-depth review of Action Force Valaverse's Warpath Eclipse figure. I was very excited to get one. I hope you do too. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and share and subscribe to the channel. A bunch of great stuff on the channel. A bunch of more great stuff coming. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next review.